This is Mrs. Bates, and I thought I would give my top 5 tips for using Schoology more efficiently. So, one of the things, my top tip is that I think the web version is a little bit more user friendly than the app version. So, if the students are on an iPad, that is not a problem. They can use Safari and go to schoology.pinewood.edu, and then I showed them how they can just add that to their home screen. Therefore, it's just as easy, it feels like, as clicking an app. You can click that shortcut and it has that same quickness to it. You don't have to type it in every time. The app will work, it's just things are in a little different place and it's not quite as noticeable, I think. Okay, my second tip is once you're here on the web version, one of the things I'm going to say is right up here in the messages, the students are used to maybe checking their Pinewood email. If they're not, they really should be. I would say at minimum every day they should be checking their Pinewood email. Honestly, more than once a day would be better. And also I'm going to add now to this list this Schoology messages. And you can see on the web version it is up here at the top. On the iPad version, actually, it is, I believe, on the bottom. And so that is something that you as parents don't see on your version. And also, I don't believe you see this bell either, which is their notifications. Okay, so one thing I would say is definitely if they're not used to checking for messages, to do that every day, multiple times if they can. This messaging system is nice. It is quick to find someone's name, quicker than an email situation. It will stay, these numbers will stay there until you actually click open the messages. Okay, so that's something to know, and they should be looking, and I use that or the email for quick notes. You know, you're missing something or there's a problem. Okay, this third tip I have is how to find their assignments. Some students are struggling still to find out what to do and where to know. So I would say number one, on this home screen, you see on this right hand side, they have first the list of overdue assignments, and that's first. And you'll see Jenny Pinewood here has not been doing her work, so she has quite a long list of overdue. That's our sample student that we use, the teachers. So hopefully your student does not have to scroll down that far. But here is then the second section, the upcoming assignments. And this is listing pretty much what your homework is or classwork that you need to get done. Okay, and you can see it pretty easily tells you when it's due. The icons show you what kind of assignment it is. To know who assigned it, if you hover over it, it will tell you which class assigned it. On an iPad, you can't hover, but you can click on it, touch it lightly with your finger, and it will do the same thing. Okay? And so, of course, then you also can go ahead and click on any assignment, and it will bring you right to the assignment, and therefore you can go get starting to work. The other thing I would say, the easiest way to know what to do is to go up to the top here where there's this calendar. And if you click on the calendar, it will take you to a view that looks very similar to what we had during in Veracross. And of course, you up here can change it to a month, week, or day view. And again, just like in Veracross, you can click on the assignment. If you hover, it tells you what class it's for. If you click on the assignment, it'll tell you a quick description, and if you want to actually go start working on it, you can click on view and it will actually open up the real assignment, and then you can go ahead and click on the PDF or whatever the assignment is and start getting to work. Okay? All right, and that is probably the two most likely ways to check your work. The third way is if you go to the actual course. So this way is probably more clicks, but depending on how your student thinks, maybe this makes more sense to them. So depending on the course, you will have to know, if you do it this way, where the assignment is. You can look and see, find the assignment you want to do, or maybe just you want to know what you have to do today, and you open it up, and then again you can click on it and it'll bring you to that same view of the assignment, and you can click on it and get started. So that is the third way you could try to find your assignments. So there's many different ways that the students can do that. One of the things that they seem to be struggling on sometimes is knowing once they've missed it or had some kind of problems. So one of the things that I am telling them often is to check their grades. So up at the top here on the web view, you can see you can always check your grade report, and that is the same for you as parents. Your view is very similar to this. And if they go check their grade, they will see their overall grade, and then that breaks it down by category for them. And as we already discussed, Jenny is not being a very good student. And so you can see what she's submitted and what her grades are. But the important thing I said for the students is to look and see what icons are standing out here, the missing or incomplete work. And so that should be a quick view for you to see, you know, what's missing, and then go click over here to the actual assignment and it'll bring you to the assignment. Another thing I told the students is to look here at their any comments that the teacher has left. I, for one, will always write down if there's a problem in when they submit it. In this particular assignment, I said that the student did not actually submit the correct thing, and I was willing to give them points back if they resubmitted the right thing. And unfortunately, some students are not going in, you know, they submit and then they forget about it. They think they're done. And I can understand that. However, it is wise to check and their overview of their grades, because then they could see, oh, I submitted the wrong thing. I can go fix this. And then they could go, of course, and click on the assignment and go and fix it. So they really have to be checking over themselves, especially right now while they're still getting used to these, you know, new Schoology ways. And then my fifth and last tip is that I think it would help if the students check their notification settings. So if they go over here on the right hand side to their settings, or again on iPad, it is on the left hand side, and they go to settings and then click on notifications. I really think it might be worth a minute to go through and read these and decide if they want to change their notification settings. For instance, in this academic section, I think it might be valuable to have yourself get emailed or a notification sent to your phone if your student is more the kind that carries around and looks at their phone all the time. Like for instance, they're overdue. Maybe it would help to have that notification pop up instead of you having to go, you know, seek it out. The other thing you might want to turn notifications on, I would scroll down to private messages, the one we just mentioned. If you want to be, I find it helpful to have it on either mobile or email, whichever you think you'll see. And again, if it pops up, it reminds you, oh, I have a message from the teacher, I better go read it, right? Those are two I think are pretty good. The other thing is maybe you want to turn on the comments on the assignments. That one's back up here in academic, right here. Course comments on updates, assignments, or discussions. So that one you may want to turn on. Like I said, if I had written a comment that you submitted the wrong thing, then it might help you to see that in a notification form, right, come up on your phone, rather than just having to go look at the grade report, like I said before. The only thing about this is, depending on your classes and how many of these you tend to get, it could be quite a few. If you have classes that have a lot of discussion posts, things like that, that possibly could be cumbersome. But I don't know, I don't think it probably is too much, so I think it's worth at least trying. Okay, and just remember, if they do change any of these, to go save the changes at the bottom so that they go into effect.